Well, thank you for coming on the Red Carpet Roundtable podcast, Miss Mitch.
Mitch Alcala. Yeah, no problem. So
So I was trying to say your last name.
yeah, my last name can be hard to pronounce. It's a Spanish name. Like most people can say it like Alcala with an
Uh-huh.
accent or Alcala. It's like more easy to say Mitch Alcala or Mitch Alcala, whatever
Okay.
you be able to do it. But it is a tongue twister. Even sometimes I have difficulty saying it. I just say it slowly, like Mitch Alcala, like something like
Right.
yeah.
So what attracted you to begin your career in the entertainment industry?
It all started when I was probably like 12 years old. Like when I was a kid, I always liked movies and TV shows. I liked the whole entertainment shows, like watching movies like Star Wars and Pirates of the Caribbean and Back to the Future, and even doing like drama TV shows. And it was just something. It just seemed like interesting, like how they when I look like behind the scenes kind of things, footage, like how they put it together. Like I remember watching like behind the scenes, like on Power Rangers, because I used to love Power Rangers growing up. And I remember watching like behind the scenes things, like the camera and all that. I thought I always found it interesting, like how they put it together, how it is all like people are just acting. Because there was a time I used to believe it was all real when I was a kid. Like this is like real. They're not really acting. They're actually like actual characters in real life, and I realized these are just people pretending to be other people. And I guess I was interested in that because I was always like a kid who was always a dreamer, always pretending to be something else as a kid. And I thought acting was like a perfect place to do that, just to escape reality and pretend to be in someone else's shoes, pretend you could be like just the idea of being someone else that's not you. Like you could be like a soldier, a warrior, a villain in a story, or a pirate, a vampire, supernatural, werewolf, like any character you could think of. And that's just so fun to me. Like just because I like to always like play like other people, like to change my voices, change my personalities. There's just something about it's a, I'm like I live it probably because I live in an imaginary world. I've always in my head like daydreaming, pretending I'm like somewhere else from reality. I'm always escaping for reality. I always like escaping reality and being in like an imaginary world. That's probably why I like VR, virtual reality games so much, because I like to be in a fantasy world. And that's probably what drove me to do acting, because that's kind of what acting is. You're like playing a character in a film, television, or play, and you're like an imaginary world. And I just love being I like to escape from reality and being in a fantasy world. And that just, it brings a lot. It's just so fun for me. It's just like, I enjoy it so much. I like doing it. I can't think of anything else besides that. And that's kind of drove me to pursue it. And I've been wanting to do that since I was 12. So I've been pursuing it pretty much for almost 20 years, like 15 years of my life. So yeah.
Well, that's amazing. What can you say is the most difficult challenge so far that you've noticed being in the entertainment industry?
Like, just like getting noticed by the right people, because there's like millions of actors trying to get in this business. And it's like, people are like, there's thousands of people auditioning for projects. I've been doing like auditions, trying to get seen in front of directors and producers. And sometimes it's just hard to get seen by the right people being in the right room. Like that's like the hardest part. Just like you can like there could be I met so many actors, there's so many good actors in this business, like really great actors, but sometimes they never get discovered, they never get seen by the right director or the right producers, and sometimes people like start like giving up on it because they work on it, they try to pursue it so long, and they just like kind of like lose faith in it. And I realize it's just like sometimes it takes time. For some people, it happens quickly. Sometimes it happens years and years for people, but that's just challenging just to get seen by get in the right door and get the right opportunity that will break your career. Like just getting recognized. That's probably the hardest part. Like we can take acting classes for years and years and get better and better as actors. And I've seen actors get great, good, almost like become like character actors, but I guess they just have difficulty just like finding that break, finding that role that would change their life, finding that right director that will just like fall in love with your talents. And it's just, and sometimes you can meet directors or filmmakers, build a relationship, but sometimes they all go downhill. I've had relationships with some directors or producers or actors slash producers slash writers that I was trying to do projects with in the past, like when I was like in San Diego, and it all fell apart. It's like it's always hard to find the right relationships and find the right people
Right.
that won't bring drama or start becoming lazy or they start becoming distracted or life hits them. They need to like they get distracted by wanting to settle down, get married and stuff like that. So, it's like it's hard to find the right people that you can connect with and know you can do projects with the rest of your life. I feel like that's the most hardest part in this business.
Right.
Yeah.
What motivates you to stay inside the entertainment industry?
Honestly, because there's literally nothing out there that I enjoy. I try other things, and there's literally acting is literally the only thing that it gives me positive energy. I
Hmm.
mean, acting just is the only thing that gives me positive energy. It makes me puts me in a good mood all the time, puts a smile on my face. But other jobs out there, it doesn't do that for me. And it's like it comes to a point like if I do something that doesn't put me in a good mood or doesn't give me positive energy, I'm always gonna be like a downer, miserable, bringing people like be a burden to people and bringing people down. And I realized I don't want to. I can't. This is like what's the point? Like what's the point of even keep continuing with life? So I realized what motivates me to keep going is like now I got nothing to lose because there's if I don't even get it, it doesn't really make a difference because I will still be in the same boat, like down in the press. I might as well just keep pursuing until something lands on me because career in acting is literally the only thing that's gonna make me make me like look forward in life. Get up early in the
Right.
morning. So it's like without it, it's like I have nothing to continue with life.
Hmm.
It's like I
Hmm.
might as well just give up on life and just wait till I get lazy and get old and just die. But like I feel like if I don't pursue it, my life will be just laziness. So that kind of
Right.
motivates me. Just like I got nothing to lose. I mean, what's the harm if I just keep going for a long time? Like I'm not gonna lose anything. There's nothing else out there I really want. Acting is literally a career in it is literally the only thing on my mind. So I might as well just like go after it to the very end. So
Right. Um, what is your upcoming projects do you have?
right now, I did appear in a feature film, like a small part in a movie that got won like best film at the Culver City Film Festival, and like in December, and it showed in like the San Diego, and it got some awards, and appear on it's going to appear on Apple TV and Prime Video. It's called No Mercy. It's a sci-fi feature film that's gonna be on Prime Video and Apple TV, and I have like a small part in it to the main plot of the story. So that's one, and I got I make some small parts in some vertical mini series that people now these days people be doing these vertical mobile series that people can watch on their phones on these mobile apps, and I have a few of them coming out this year. I did a one that about a love story about a cowboy and a bride trying to like they met and they are
Hmm.
it's kind of like it's like a soap opera meets Hallmark kind of story. And I did like a vampire story about a girl falling in love with a billionaire vampire that I appeared in. So that kind of story. So I got a lot of those come out in the beginning of the year, and I'm working on a short film, like a horror, it's like a short horror film that I'm working with a couple people that we're gonna shoot probably like in April, and
Okay.
we're gonna probably send it to some film festivals in like LA area that
Hmm.
takes like short films and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I got working on this year. So
Wow, amazing.
yeah.
What out of all the roles you played, which one's your favorite?
I always like to play the dark, unique ones. Usually like the villainous characters. They're kind of like I would say maybe not like pure evil villain, but they're kind of like the antagonist of the story. They're kind of like almost like a rebel, like a rebel kind of person who doesn't like get along with people. Plays like he's like a convict kind of character, but I wouldn't like he kind of like an anti-hero kind of play, but he's like he does good, but he kind of does things for himself. And I play some like villainous characters in some projects and or like the psycho dark creepiness. Those are always like my favorite characters to play. I feel like I have more fun playing those kind of characters really. Usually like the villain, I would say the antagonist in the story. Like he's like this main threat, causing the problems for the main people, or like playing like that like psycho killer that they need to take down. Like those are like my favorite kind of characters that I usually like to play. And people say I have that kind of look and that kind of voice. I know how to make my voice really deep. It could almost sound like dark and creepy in ways. So it's like those are the roles like they're kind of like just super easy for me. So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
And you're who was the person that really motivated you up to now?
Like an actor wise, like
Or a
or
family member or an actor wife?
well, an actor I kind of look up to is for like I always get influence to improve my acting. I like old actors back in the day, like Marlon Brando and James Dean. I watch a lot of old Marlon Brando movies. Like that's the thing, like the kind of roles that he plays, like Streetcar Desire, The Wild One, and on the waterfront, he always plays like that tough guy, that bad attitude, rebel kind of characters. Like those are like the characters I want to play, and I always get my encouragement from him. Like I like his acting techniques, like how he does it, how he portrays his characters, and I always get encouragement from that when I do my acting role. So Marlon Brando is kind of like my influencer in the acting world for sure.
Okay.
And James Dean, I like watching some of his work, like Rebel Without a Cause, and I always get encouragement, like whatever technique they use in their acting, I like to do the same thing. So that's where I get
That's
mine.
amazing. Being in this entertainment industry is tough.
Yeah,
Everybody talks about it.
yeah,
And I want to dive into audition. What can you tell everyone about auditions? I know auditions so tough. So what's your motivation message for a lot of young actors out there who want to get into
yeah.
the entertainment industry?
So I would say like auditions now are way different than it was way before. Ever since like the pandemic happened, everything now is always video submissions now. Like every time I get an audition, before it used to get like give you like an address and a time where you go to the locate drive to a location. You usually wait in the hallway with your side, and you go in a room with the casting director, and you read with someone, and they film you. And that's usually how the old were back in the day. But now, so now everything you have to do everything at home. Like they ask for video submissions. They usually on the breakdowns they ask you for like a couple of things. They ask you for a slate, like your name and who you are and what you're auditioning for, if you're available, and then they give you the sides, and then you have to record it on your phone or your iPod or something. You have to do the recording, and you have to get someone to get another person to read with you, either as a friend, another actor, or somebody through Zoom. So you gotta now it's like you have to do more work. It's like there's ups and downs with it because before all you had to do was just memorizing lines, getting the character, just make a good impression when you walk in the room. But now it's not like that anymore. It's about who can make a standout audition tape. Like because now people can either do it in their they usually do it in front of a wall. They get like a dark background with a they usually get a sheet like brown sheet or a white sheet or blue sheet or even a white background, and then you just like and then you get your phone, you push and then you record and you have your lines. You can either memorize it or not, and you just read it. And you have to get good lighting. Sometimes it's good. Like now, you have to get like some lighting, like just so you can pop out and stand out, so you can stand out the most. And you just have to film it like really close. Like sometimes they ask you to film it like above your shoulder and your chest, and you try to get your head so they can get your good look in your head. And you have to, and then you press record and you just do your audition. Somebody reads with you, and you just do the audition. And the cool part is you can do the audition probably as many times as you want. Before, like you only get like one shot before, but now it's like if you don't like what you see, you can always do it again and again until you feel comfortable with it. And then and then you just like got that, and you sometimes with a sleigh they have to do a whole body shot. So you sometimes you basically you got to get a tripod to put your phone on. Like now I put my phone on a tripod and I put it somewhere in the room where I can get a whole good shot of my whole body because they want the whole body to see what you look like. Sometimes they'll ask you to turn your whole body, so they know exactly what they look. Okay, this is what he looks like. This is how tall he is. His skin is he thin? Like just to see a good look in you, to know what you sound like, and see your personality during the sleigh, so they know what kind of. Because since now everything is not walking anymore, they need to know the personality by just the slate. So you gotta show your personality, just like is he a friendly, fun guy in the slate. So that's probably the challenging part. And then you do your audition tape where you play the character, get a really good close up of your face, have some lighting on you so you can pop out, so they can get an idea what you look like, your eyes, the way you sound, so they can visualize if you be part of the character. And then you put the videos together, and then you submit. And it's like that in every audition now. Everything is like video submissions. You create the auditions at home. Like you can either do it at home or a studio, or I mean, it doesn't matter where you do it at. People do it at an acting studio. People do it at their homes. They find places where studios people can help audition tapes, get good quality, just whatever whatever you can do to pop out so they can remember you. Because now it's like now you have to make a good audition tape like people can remember you as. And there's no rules of doing it. People can cheat. People will do find ways just to pop out, like add some few things just to pop out in the video. So idea is just make a really interesting video audition tape, either with a really cool slate, a very weird, unique slate, so they can remember you. Anything that can just grab their attention and
Mm-hmm.
just do a really good take. Sometimes they'll ask you to do one or two takes, so you could do it one or two times with an accent or non-accent, or just do it high pitch. Like so, you can do it so many times. That's the cool, and you have plenty of time to do it. You can do this for hours and hours until the deadline, because they usually give you like a few days of deadline until you can submit. So now these days it's all video submissions where you just got to make your video audition really pop out that they'll remember you, and then you submit and you do that for every audition. You do that one audition, you do it the next audition. Everything is just all at home. You all so the hard work is just so all the hard work is just doing a bunch of video auditions at home. I remember I had like an audition. I had like 5 auditions for videos, and I did it all in one night. I had to like print out the script, get someone to read it with me, and I had to like be prepared to get in the character for that audition, get that done, edit it, submit it, and then work on the next one. So it's always like hard work because you have to gotta get your phone on your tripod and get it all set up, making sure you get a good focus on your face, make sure the lighting's good so they get a good clear face so you know what they look like. So you have to act, you have to do it's like you have to be your own director too. You have to act and you have to be director because you're directing your own audition tape in a way. And you look at it and you feel like, okay, I don't like this tape. When we do it again, when we try a different one, I want to try a different way. So you're like, yeah, because it takes like you're really like you're becoming an actor and a director at the same time because you're directing your own audition tape, so you can like really like what could I do to really make them remember me? That's like it is. It's like all now it's all like good video audition tapes now, and people could do it so many ways. You can like do it in your room, do it at a studio, or you can even try to act it out and see if that pops up. Maybe like actually do like a scene, like you're actually at the location. Like I actually did that a couple of times where I'm actually at the location. Like one time my audition like was in an office scene. Like I was auditioning for a guy who was like an office businessman, and I mean I think it was like a lawyer or an agent or something, and I literally filmed it in the office to make it seem like it was actually like a scene from the project, and I just submit that, so hopefully that pops out more. And sometimes that can work. That maybe that will help them. That will help them remember you more. So that's kind of like what auditions are like now these days. So yeah,
That's a very good message because auditions are so different now. It is more on our phones, on Zoom,
yeah,
and I think it's a good idea that people can practice the lines over and over and
yeah.
over.
They can come more prepared, and if they
Right.
mess up, they can start over again. Because before you walk in, people mess up or like they stutter and they kind of like not in the mood. But now, since now you're by yourself, the casting
Yeah,
director's not really
you take
there.
your time.
Yeah, you can be more
I mean, I don't want
relaxed.
to say take your time, but you can practice as many times as you want.
Yeah, you can practice many amount of times more when you like, and you can be more relaxed because you're pretty much by yourself,
Right.
and you have someone read with you. And luckily now these days, people are making apps where you can download it. Helps actors have a reader with you. So because sometimes it's hard, it's kind of hard to find it. I think now it's kind of hard to find someone who can read with you if you have some friends that can do it, or they like, I think it's hard because I used to have my mom do it, and she's not really an actor, and she's kind of like she doesn't know how to act. So that was kind of like the hard part. Like it's always better when you have someone who can act and really like act with you. So that's like challenging is finding a good reader. That's the hard part. Like before, because now you didn't have to worry about things like that, but now you have to find a good reader, good lighting, and good setup. It's like you have to do like more like 5 things at a time. Before it was like one thing in a time, but now it's like 5 things you have to do. And
Wow.
callbacks are usually through Zoom now. Sometimes they do it in person, but sometimes there are Zooms. So now
Hmm.
everything's through video, which I think it makes things a lot easier because people don't have to worry about driving and spending money on location, like on where to meet. So parking
Right.
wise, so it makes kind of so there's some ups and downs about it, I think. But yeah,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I wanted to talk about that audition because it seems so tough for a lot of people out there who is now getting into the entertainment industry. They don't seem to understand it, especially for the other young actors out there who are now getting into it. They
yeah,
don't understand more
yeah.
about it. So,
Yeah, because it's just a new generation. Because before over '90s and '80s and the early 2000s, it was just all about just driving to a location, walking in the office, make a good impression in front of the casting director, audition. That's how actors used to do it, but now it's not like that anymore. Even like actors that have been in the business for a long time had to adjust to the new one
yeah,
because I had an acting teacher that was in the business for 40 years and he was not used to the whole video submission. He doesn't even like it. He prefers the old way where you just go there and make a good impression. But now it's like it's different now. It's like
yeah.
he
I
even
think the
told me,
younger generation likes it better
yeah, but
because
yeah,
if you look at it, for example, if you have to fly from Texas to Los Angeles,
mm,
right? And
yeah,
you may not be able to afford it, or you may not have time because, like, for example, a lot of young actors out there, their parents may be working, and they're like, "Well, we can't fly right away," right? So I think, to be honest, it's a lot better. I also understand, they're old people, old traditional people. They like it to have it in person, which I do
mm,
understand as well.
mm,
They like to have that first impression.
mm,
But I think, to be honest, doing the Zoom, doing all this, it's a lot better,
yeah,
personally, because there's people in
yeah.
different states.
You know,
You can,
that's why now it's become more global. Like it doesn't, you don't have
right,
to live in LA to do it. You can live like in
in
Texas,
Texas
New
or
York.
Chicago or
Yeah, in like Vegas. Like, yeah, that's the thing. It's more global now since it
yeah.
doesn't matter where you are. You can do auditions through
But if you live
video.
in Phoenix, it's like
Yeah,
maybe a 2 hour drive to LA. Maybe I'm just guessing in my head. I did it. I've done it many times, but you could do that to get to LA and then do
yeah.
that and go back home. So, but I totally agree with you. Audition is great. It's wonderful. I
But it
totally
kind of also brings more competition that way because now you were competing between people in LA and before, but now since everything's global, you're auditioning against people all over the place. So it's probably more submissions and more people to audition against. So it's probably more challenging. So in a way.
Yeah, it is true. It is true, but it's also I think it's kind of fun.
Yeah. It makes things a lot easier for a lot of people, but it does make it more challenging, harder to probably book something or get seen by people, I
Yeah,
think.
I totally agree with you. So there's a lot of up and down.
Yeah.
There's the what do you
Yeah,
call
like
it?
I said, there is ups and downs. Like it makes audition a lot easier because I don't have to worry about like I could do the audition when I'm available to do it, and I don't have to worry about driving so far or using my gas money. So it is a lot easier. But then I realized I'm probably competing against like thousands of more people around the world, kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, so you got to really figure out how can you make yourself really stand out that people will remember you. Like you gotta like what can you do to like it will make people like they won't forget you those like because they probably see like hundreds of auditions tapes constantly like it's an all day thing they're constantly looking what can I do to like really pop out, how are they gonna remember my tape over everybody else's tape, so
Yeah.
and that's probably that's why people need to be very creative in their audition tapes now. It's like people have to be very creative, use your imaginations, do something where they can do to make like their video auditions really, you know, like what can make somebody remember. Like I've heard so many different ideas from people. Like they do ideas for their slates. I remember one actor in my acting class told me like she put the camera in a toilet and opened the toilet and did their slate that way because it was for like a Nickelodeon audition. That would show that this person, okay, she definitely has a kid personality doing a slate on an open toilet kind of thing, and that kind of got her like a callback in a way. So I'm
That's
saying
actually really cool.
yeah, so people have different ideas. Like, what could you make your show your personality. Like someone told me like if you have an animal like a cat, show your cat in your slate. And like I'm a cat person, like you're doing your slate, and you're like you show like they might remember because they might remember that the actor was cuddling with their cat in a way or something like that, or your dog or your fish or something kind of wacky and crazy that you can do to get people to remember you as. So those kind of techniques. I heard some actors do that, some kind of techniques that they just do something to like really makes them to remember them a lot. So I've seen some
Yeah.
crazy good video auditions, like people go really crazy, like get into character. Did like two different takes with different clothing. That's the beauty part because you can change your clothes to different if you want to do takes of different versions, different accents, or add some wild things and make it kind of interesting. Like I've seen some crazy, interesting audition takes. But yeah, you can really create. There's no. It doesn't hurt to do so. It doesn't like you're not breaking. There's no rules to do on audition tapes.
Mhm.
You can do. You can go off. You can really go off the rail on it. So yeah,
Wow, that's very good. I'm glad we touched base about it for
yeah,
audition because
yeah,
I want a lot of our audience to pay attention um, more about auditions
yeah,
to understand it more
yeah,
um, because that's very important, I
yeah,
think. Because I think a lot of young upcoming actors are nervous and they want to
yeah,
understand it more. What can they discuss
yeah.
it more, you know?
Yeah, like a lot of actors like now these days they try to like buy better cameras to get it like because now it's like you have to have a good camera, good quality camera, like 4XD kind of quality. Get like iPhones 15 because sometimes because nowadays it's like you have to have a good camera quality, like really like almost like clear.
Right, like an iPhone 15 Pro Max or iPhone 16 now and
Yeah. And some people I know they use like a Canon camera, like a regular Canon they film because it has great quality and they just like edit it. So some actors put a lot of work, like because they have to buy lighting. Sometimes you have to go to stores and buy like some actors will buy one of those like cell phone lightings they put their phone on and understand like I have one of those or sometimes some actors will buy like one of those big lightings they actually use on movie sets just so you can like get a good lighting pop out because you literally have to like almost film like a movie scene in a way so you almost clear and some actors will buy it like for me I bought like a little mic where I can connect with my phone and I put it on my shirt so I can have good clear sounding so it almost sounds like so my sounding sounds very clear and pops out more because now some actors probably don't use that so the sounding is probably like low not that quiet or probably not that clear so it doesn't really stand out so I recommend actors to get like a little mic they can connect with their phones and they can put it like somewhere close to their shirt and they can hide it and the sound will be much clearer and it'll like be more it'll be much clearer to hear and it'll pop out more and that's what I do and get some good like lighting to like get your face like really bright and clear. You know, you can either get a regular light or like use your regular lights, just whatever kind of like pop like makes you pop out more. So that's the thing.
Mhm.
It's like you really have to learn to be a director now because you're directing
Yeah,
yourself.
right,
So
100% true. Do all the
mm,
angles and everything.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, like some actors can't do it. Like it is hard work. Like sometimes they have to go to a studio and ask someone to help them with auditions. Like I
right.
know places, I know like some acting studios, they help people auditions. They use because they have great cameras, great lighting, and so if people can't do it at home and they need help with audition tapes, they can either find some acting schools that do that because they do offer that now these days with audition tapes. They kind of like get say a nice background. They have the lighting and they can just record and they can read with you and help you out with it. So that's one way if they have difficulty doing it. But it's like now you really have to use your magic. Like you really have to now you have to work hard to make your auditions pop out. Now it's not
Yeah,
all
that's
about
true.
yeah.
It is a different kind of industry out there for sure. 100%.
So
100%. Well, well, I do appreciate you coming on.
yeah, thank you for having me. Just whatever gets my face out there. If there are actors out there that don't know about the audition process, I did a lot of auditions last year and this year for feature films and some like commercial things, and I it is challenging because there's
Yeah,
a lot of
well,
things.
I'm glad. like I said, I'm glad we dug deep into this
Yeah.
because um, I want the audience to know more about it,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah.
And it's very important because you have a lot of young female and other young males and adults who are now getting into this entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And I think we did a good idea because we talked about both the
Yeah.
old traditional ways who
Mm.
are now comfortable going there in person during their first expression, right? Now
Yeah.
you have the upcoming new generation, which I believe personally myself is a great idea. You just do it on the computer, do it on your phone and Zoom. And I think it's good we talked about it because it's giving a lot of people out there, a lot of young actors who are getting into the entertainment industry, who
Yeah.
want to get into the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
what they can do, what they can learn,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
So yeah, so they definitely learn about audition tapes at home. And if they ever get a callback, because honestly, in callbacks, it could be through Zoom, but sometimes it can be in person and they can't be in front of a lot of people. So they might be able to master the audition thing, but if they ever get called back in their room in front of other actors and casting and producers with a lot of people, and some actors can get nervous. I heard some actors like they froze because they weren't prepared for like how many people eyes on you. So you also need to learn to be prepared to be in front of a lot of people, important people, directors, producers, casting directors, other actors in the other room trying to compete with the same job as you. So you got to do something to really remember you.
Yeah,
So
and the good news is they would spread words about you.
yeah, so so it is a lot of process when it comes to audition now.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know, it's more nerve wracking. It was well, I did do auditions in person before, and it wasn't that bad, I don't think. But now it wasn't that hard work. But now auditions are probably a lot more work now, I think.
Yeah, that's
So
true. That's true.
like so it definitely is a different change.
Right.
But you know, you learn you people get better in time when you like when I first did audition tapes. I feel like I did lousy at first because I wasn't maybe not good lighting or good camera. I feel like I did some bad audition tapes, but I learned from my mistakes and how I can improve to get better.
Hmm.
And the acting studios I went to kind of helped me out where I can do better. And the good news is there's some acting well in LA. I know there's some in LA that can help you with those audition tapes because they
Right.
know how audition tapes work. And now these days talent agencies are really looking for people that know how to make good audition tapes because since that's how the game is. So it's like yeah, so there's like I know there's some acting schools that helps with audition tapes, like the one I go to called Sunny Creative Acting School. They do audition. He does audition tapes for me. He has a good camera. He has a good background, good lighting, good. He has a mic, and he can do a great audition tape. And he can edit it for you, and then we can submit.
Uh-huh.
So he does good audition. He does some like good commercial auditions and feature film auditions for them. So that's a good place to go for well in LA if you're in LA, but for other people that are not in LA, like outside of LA, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some, or actually, the cool part is there's some Zoom acting schools now these days where people can do an acting school into Zoom. So I heard people do that, like they do some acting classes in Zoom. So no matter where you live, they can do acting classes. So if people are having trouble, they should find some acting schools that can probably show them and teach them how to do it. Because you
Okay.
definitely need there are people out there that can like teach actors how you can do a good audition tape and how you can really make a really good
Yeah.
audition. So they can't do it by themselves. I think people definitely need some help. I mean, everybody should go to an acting class, honestly, just to get better
Hmm.
at their performance. People
Totally
can't.
agree with
I
you.
mean, I honestly don't think anybody can get better by doing it on their own. I mean, they could try learn on their own just so they can save money because things cost money to pay for acting classes. But if you really are serious about doing this, sometimes you have to invest in doing things.
Yeah.
Getting demo reels, like people ask for demo reels to get auditions to book parts. I mean, I luckily what I'm happy is that there are some places that people will make demo reels for you. I mean, you have to pay for it, but they can make a good demo reel for you to like help you like get auditions better and even help you book the job because sometimes they can book you. Sometimes actors might not know this, but sometimes you can get booked by just having a really good demo reel. Like you might not even have to audition; you might just get the job by having a good demo reel. And I actually booked a feature film, like actually the one I was telling you about, like the one that's going to be on Amazon Prime Apple TV. I booked that because of a good demo reel. I didn't even have to audition. They love my demo reel so much. Like they just hire me just like that, and they get me. They put me have me. They hire me for a small, like a 2 minute role, and it was a very memorable part too. Even though it was a small part, but it was a very memorable part of the. It was like a very important part of the story. So, and I just got that from a demo reel I did, and so actors these days should learn how to get good audition tapes and learn how to find ways to create good demo reels because you some actors can book a job just having a really good footage they see you on probably like on YouTube or on Instagram because
Uh-huh.
now everything is social media. That's the difference
Right.
now these days because everybody uses social media to brand themselves to get recognized, like Instagram or TikTok, where actors can get seen like some acting footage on their page, and they'll hire people will hire you just seeing like how
Right,
like
right.
yeah, because that's the difference between now and how it was back in the day because they didn't have social media and everything is definitely some video like Zoom auditions, video submissions, and social media to advertise yourself, to brand yourself, to get recognized. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
yeah,
true. That's true. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
And
So I
thank you for
definitely
coming
learned.
on.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad I was able to come on and be helpful in some ways. I wasn't sure if I had anything information, but I've learned a lot of actually the last couple of years of
Yeah, that's true. That's
how the
true.
entertainment has changed a lot. Video auditions, like man, this is hard work. But I mean, I like the fact I can do it when I in my own time, and like now I don't even have to live in LA anymore, even though I live in LA, but I can live somewhere else just to do this because everything is filmed like all over the place now these days.
Right,
But
right.
so I learned about audition tapes. I learned about how important demo reels are because sometimes headshots are good, but demo reels are also good. Actually, ever since I got good demo reels from the acting studio I went to, I've gotten a lot of auditions because of those demo reels. And actually, I booked like seven. I actually booked 7 jobs the last year. That feature film and seven vertical series because of my audition tapes and my demo reels. So actually, yeah, I would recommend actors to always search for ways to find good demo reels because I've actually booked. This has been 8 gigs. Almost, it's been a year, and I booked 8 acting gigs because of a good demo reel. And sometimes some people skip the audition just to see your demo reel because sometimes seeing audition tapes takes a lot of work, and they rather just skip it to see a good demo reel or a good headshot. So actors, especially new actors, if they don't have a demo reel, figure out a way to get a demo reel. If they have to find ways to find filmmakers to film their demo or find places that because I think now these days people are willing to make demo reels for actors if for the right price. So you can pay to make a good reel. So because now producers they do ask for demo reels a lot. I've noticed in every breakdown service they and agents they say demo reels are really needed.
Right.
Especially for
That's
new actors
good.
that don't have a demo reel, they might even have difficulty getting an audition. So if they don't have a demo reel or some like any footage of their acting, they might not even get called for an audition. You know,
Yeah.
because before when I didn't have a good demo reel, I didn't even get really an audition. Honestly, I didn't. I was barely getting any auditions until I got an audition. So before I even worry about the audition thing, I wasn't even getting invited for an audition tape. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. So actors, especially new actors, they need to learn about audition tapes, but they also need to find ways to get a reel so they can get called in for an audition. So yeah. So
Well,
I
that's
mean,
that's good you are talking about the demo reels. I do appreciate that because a lot of people need to know about that as well.
well, yeah. So if they don't know about that, if they heard, but because they do a lot of places, they do ask for real, like most of the time they do ask for demo reels or any kind of footage of your acting. So actors, so they got to find their ways to get some footage. So that's another. If they can't get a reel, they can film themselves. So either way, they have to learn how to film themselves. You got to learn
Right,
some
right,
kind of
right.
filming. So actors these days, they also have to learn how to film. They have to learn how to get a good angle, what's their good side to get a good footage and figure out a good typecast of good scene for you to show your brand yourself to see what you're. So actors now they have to learn about some filming in ways.
Hmm.
Be very creative too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's challenging. You have to learn to be very creative. Like what's your character film you for like so what's a good film scene to like really brand yourself. So
Hmm.
actors, especially new actors, they have to learn that too. I have to learn. I have to learn that too. Like getting a good demo reel to show my skills and talents and learn about how to make a great audition tape. So it was a lot of work. I was struggling in the beginning, but then I improved. So and I was able to book some more. My audition tapes are way better now. I'm able to like get more attention from agents and casting directors and for film projects. So that's why I recommend actors to learn about audition tapes, but also get some good acting footage of themselves. So so
I do appreciate you telling everybody about that. And
yeah.
thank you again for coming on. And I
Thank
look forward to having you back on.
Yeah, I would love to come back, tell you more stuff. Like if actors are in LA are looking for good acting studios, the one I go to is pretty nice. It's called Sunny Creative Acting School of Acting. It's in Van Nuys. They can do demo reels if you don't have it. And they can also help you with audition tips if you don't know how to do it. If you can't do it at home, they can help you out. I mean, they can help you out with that. So actors that need it's always good to find a good acting studio that can help you out with these things, because if you find the right place, they can help you brand you. If you need good headshots, they can do the acting studio I go to. They can do headshots for you. They have some good photographers that do headshots, and they're actually thinking about we actually do film projects. We actually, the good thing about my acting studio is they film our scenes and you can post it on YouTube. So
Mhm.
you can get so many good acting footage and put it on your YouTube if you want to, or on your Instagram just to show your acting skills. So,
That's
and
amazing.
there's they just gotta research. You just gotta look around the
Right,
one.
right.
And yeah, they just gotta look around. If they're in LA, I don't know about people out of California like that lives like I'm pretty sure there's some studios out there that does that, but
Right.
always find the right acting studio to help you out. I mean, you honestly, it's like sometimes two heads are better than one. You can't go in this business alone. You definitely need some people to help you through it and help make those connections and do projects together. Like right now in my acting studio, we're actually working on a short film right now to send to film festivals, and we actually it just the studio might get bigger one day. We might actually do feature films in the future.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it's like that's what people always say: you build relationships, and when it comes to a point where you don't even have to worry about auditions anymore, you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about doing video audition because people will just know you, want to work with you, and then just hire you because they love working with you and they know what
Yeah.
you do. So
Right,
yeah,
right. That's
so,
amazing. Thank you for sharing that
yeah, no
with the
problem.
audience now. Well, thank you again, and I look forward to having you back.
Yeah, good meeting you, and I would love to come back and talk
All
more.
right, I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, talk to you soon.
All right,
Peace.
bye-bye.